Whoa, man, can't wait to watch this vid. Tilescapes, totally rad, man.
DM Scotty's Tilescapes, the isometric terrain system. Craft them all. Wow your friend.
Hey crafters, do I have a great tilescape for you today, right? This is a ship. This thing is cool. But the cool thing about it is, not only is it a modular ship, it is a mechanically driven Dwarven icebreaker, okay? We've seen lots of sailing ships and that kind of thing, but I really wanted to go for the kind of exotic ship. You know, since my players are going to the Sea of Moving Ice, and I wanted to have these whalers who had this icebreaker type ship, and I thought this would be really cool. And the players loved it. It gave a lot of atmosphere to the game and that kind of thing. It was just a really cool set piece. Now, what's cool about ships is, you build this huge set piece, right? And then you got to store it somewhere, or just trash it or whatever, because you don't have room for it. Well, I wanted to avoid that, okay? Was my philosophy going into this. I use my dungeon blocks technique to make a ship, okay? And the ship totally comes apart. I can take the ship apart, disassemble it, and use all the parts for something else. Now, isn't that cool? Isn't that a great idea? Instead of having this giant ship that you got to store somewhere, you can have it, so you can take it apart, you reuse all the pieces for other projects or other setups. And so that's what I was going for with this. But, I wanted to have the modularity, but still the cool factor, still make it look great. And I think I achieved both. So let's hit the table. I'm going to give you a look at this bad boy before we start crafting it, to give you an idea what this thing is, and then we'll start crafting it and put it all together. So let's hit that table. All right, crafters, here's my boxes I use for my dungeon blocks. I'm just going to cut the sides off here. All right. I'm going to cut the front off here and trim that little excess bit there. There's kind of a lip on it. Same with the front of this piece. I'm going to bend it in the center and then just kind of curl it a bit, right? You can go along the corrugations. This is the inside. And I'm going to mark the center, and I'm going to kind of eyeball it here for the front of the ship. Mark where the box ends here. Trim that. And that'll be our front. So now we have to expand this into 3D. We'll glue that on first. I'll glue that on. All right, hit your marks. Hold it for a few seconds. Let it set up. Awesome. Kind of reinforce it a bit. I'm going to cut the excess off. Easy to do. Just follow along with what you put on there. Cool. All right, now I'm going to take a paper towel roll and just kind of mark the height there. Cut those off. And I'm going to glue these in, and these are going to give my piece strength, so it won't be crushed, right? Just like I did in the Dungeon Blocks boxes. So I'll just put some paper towels in there, glue them with hot glue. This just reinforces it a bit. And there I've got the pattern there. You can see what I did. Now I'm going to glue the top here. So I'll turn that. That glues the back.
I'll cut the top off. And I'll just, what I want to do is glue it on top of this piece. So just hot glue that up. Line it up. All right, let it sit. All right, cool. Now all I got to do is trim that like we did before. Easy peasy. All right, now we got the front of our boat. Now let's detail this sucker up. Okay, now it's a little, actually a little shorter than the other boxes, so I'm going to add another piece on the bottom, just another piece of corrugated cardboard, because when I trimmed that little excess bit off when we did it, it shortened it a bit, so it's a little shorter than the rest of the blocks. So this is just going to short up a bit and bump it up to the same height as the other blocks. So I'll just glue that on. And I'm using white glue just to give myself more working time there, make sure it's lined up. Now I'm going to use this cardstock, and all this is from a donut box, and it has a really slick surface, and I think that'll be great for our plating we're going to use on this. Okay, it's going to be metal plating. All right, so I'm just measuring the size of the ship, the front of the ship. I'm going to bring that up a little bit, just by hand. Check it out. Cool. Now I cut another one, same, use it as a stencil. So I'll just glue those on there. Checking them out first. Marking it so I know where it ends here. I'm going to do a little detail on there. So I'll do the same with the other one. And then I'll use that piece for my pattern. Then I'll glue these on. So nice. Bend up a little bit so they're easy to fit on. And we just hot glue those on. The great plating there for the front of our ship. All right, nice. Couldn't be easier. Trim a little bit of extra there. That was a little higher than the other one. There we go. Now here's some more detail I'm going to do. Spin that over. All right, cool. This will be a front detail. Cover that place where the two halves come together. And I'm just going to use white glue on this. A chance to line it up nicely. All right, looking good. And the white glue really glues to cardstock really well. Okay, and I'm going to use that same piece we cut off as kind of a template. Cut that out. And then I'll be on the front also. Kind of building up the front. It needs a lot of strength there because it's going to be, breaking the ice. Want to make it look like a sturdy, strong ship. Use that template again, but this time I'm going to kind of eyeball a parallel line on there. This can be another detail. That'll go on the end there as a detail. Just white glue that on there. So it's easy to maneuver. Hot glue is, really quick. You got to be quick with it. Okay, so I've done other pieces like that too on the front and the sides. I'm going to put a little piece there between the two. Like I said, just building up some detail. This is just a 1/4-inch strip. Just building up some more detail, and this is all from the donut box, right? Looking great, looking great. Okay, now I'm going to do some kind of teeth just to make it interesting as an interesting detail. So they're just triangles. Cut the rest of those out. Now I'll start applying those. Give myself white glue so I have plenty of space here. or plenty of time to adjust, actually, if I need to adjust it. There we go, looking good. Nice little detail. Do it on the other side too. Okay, now I'm going to do a piece for the front of the ship on the deck, for the top deck. That'll fit there between the two plates. You may need to trim it up a little bit. Glue that down with the white glue. Nice. Now another strip here. And this will kind of the joint between the deck and the plate there. Looking great. I'm going to do a little piece to cover that corrugation there. Just regular cardstock here. Cover the other side too. And I'm going to cover the back. And I'm using the hot glue because it'll stick better with this kind of corrugation as opposed to, it doesn't have a solid surface to stick to, so the hot glue is a little better there. Nice. All the corrugation's covered up. Now I got these rhinestones, and these are going to be great for rivets, right? Rivets in the ship. Pretty cool. I just picked these up at the dollar store. You can get them about any craft store. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. And these are rather large ones, actually. There we go. Nice. Really adds a nice effect. Cool. Now I'm going to add a piece at the front here. And I kind of want to do like a masthead type thing, and that's why I'm putting this post on there. All right, nice. Cool. I'm going to take these little strips that I cut and kind of use it to anchor the post to the boat. They'll look like metal straps when I have them painted up. Be really nice. Cool. Super easy. All right, nice. Now I'm going to put some smaller rhinestones on here. And these are going to do the same thing like the other bigger ones. They're act like rivets. Easy to do. I just kind of marked it out first before I put them on. Same with these bands. They're holding the front on. And I had these spikes I got at the craft store. I thought these are cool. They're kind of attached to each other by string, but I'm just going to cut that excess string off and get the individual spikes. I thought these would be really cool on the front of the boat as an extra detail. So I'm going to use my goop for these. Hot glue is not so great on plastic. Nice. That's really cool looking. Really looks like vicious. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to paint this sucker up. And just like my Tilescapes here, same method. I'm using the stamp, the wood stamp. Put that on. And you see it's a little spotty, but I'm going to use like a lighter tan to kind of blend those while it's wet. Just drag that brush through the wet brown. And it gives a nice variation on the wood planks, right? Not just one homogeneous brown. So just add a little bit till you're happy. And do it again. Nice. Same thing. All right, cool. Looking great. Now I got to get the front part there, where I got, oh, sorry, the back here. So I'll just stamp the back there. And I want to follow the same type of pattern that I would use for my regular blocks, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Just blend that tan in there. Nice. You see the effect of mutes a bit when the brown dries on the top there, like on the top. There's a little bit on the side, so I get that. Cool. Really transforms it. Okay, now I'm going to use a metallic. And this is a metallic bronze, I believe. And I didn't want to go with the standard kind of silver or gunmetal. I thought it'd be fun to have the bronze colored. It's like an aged kind of bronze, actually. And looking great. Really cool. All that detail starting to pop out. Really looks like metal banding. Just really cool. Wow. Here I'm going to use some watered down black. This will be a black wash. Bring out some more of that detail. Make it a little dingier. So nice. Super nice. Alright, cool. There is the front of our ship. Yeah. Here's the front of our ship, and I think it really came out cool. So let's take a closer look at it. So here you can see it's just really a traditional dungeon block in the back, and in the front we did all the, the plating on it. And I think the plating came out great. It really looks like it could tear up those icebergs. And I did a figurehead on the front here, and this is a skull from a tubes thing where they had different dinosaur bones, and I thought that really looked cool. And let's take a look with our figure and see the scale, okay? And here's Roderick, so here's the scale. It's a pretty big ship. And I also sprayed it with some matte spray, some matte sealer to just to protect it. And there you go. I hope you like this first part. Hey crafters, I'm sure you figured out by now we're not going to finish up the whole boat in one episode. It's going to take another episode to get all the details of the boat. But in the meantime, check out my other videos. I have hundreds of other videos. And if you're not subscribed, well, why not subscribe? And if you want to see extra content that I do every week for my Patreon supporters, check out Patreon. Throw a little bit of money in the tip jar for the old Scotty. I can keep bringing you new craft ideas and new videos. And I'll see you next time for part 2 of the Icebreaker, Dwarven Icebreaker boat.